nearly halfway through picking up our third book.
Let's just freaking do it, okay?
Look, I know I'm all sweaty. I was just out in like 80-degree weather for 3 hours. Okay, hello. Today we're doing a read. There's someone walking. I have not done one of these in a very, very long time. I think it's been like 6 months. I have a very tentative TBR of, I think like 7 or 8 books. My goal is to get through 5 of them. I would be very happy if I could get through 5 of them. These are the books that are on my TBR. Starting off with the 2 on my physical TBR. Exodus, The Second in the Ravenhood, and then Her Soul to Take, which is on my monthly TBR. The other 4 are on Kindle. Phantom, which is the prequel to the Cat and Mouse duet. One of my favorite series ever. The Sweetest Oblivion, which is the first in the Maid series. What Did You Do, which is the sequel to How Does It Feel? Face Off, which is a hockey romance first in its series, and I'm actually starting with that one. Empire of Flame and Thorns, which I've heard mixed things about, but personally I think it looks really interesting. And then finally Unsteady, which is another hockey romance. None of these are too long, I don't think. A lot of they're mainly within the 350 to 400 range. We are starting with Face Off. Finished our first book nearly 6 hours in. Definitely not where I thought we would be by the end of the first book. Genuinely thought that would take no longer than 5 hours, but it did not help that I wasn't really enjoying the book I was reading, but we will go into all that later. It's time to grab it, go into book number 2. I am so tired. I am so tired. Book number 2, switching it up a little bit, reading a physical book instead of a Kindle. Let's keep the timer going. Second book is done. I annotated the heck out of this bad boy. Just under 6 hours to read this. Nearly halfway through picking up our third book. What Did You Do? The second in the Infatuated Fae series, read the first one, How Does It Feel? And absolutely fell in love with it. So really hoping we can get through 5 books, but we're halfway through and only on our third, so we'll see how that goes. Let's just get back into it. Nearly 17 hours in, finished our third book. Honestly, I'm kind of popping off. I'm kind of doing really well. I have 4 books here that I'm picking between, none of which were on my original TBR. These are the 4 books I now have on my radar. Her Soul for Revenge, Gleam, though this book is extremely chunky. A Touch of Ruin, which is a little chunky, and Prisoner of Azkaban, which is also not that bad on the chunky side. Out of those four, I think Gleam is definitely out. I think I'm going to go for Prisoner of Azkaban. This will be book number 4. And I believe they we are getting down to the wire. We are so close. It is the final stretch, folks. It is the final stretch of the readathon. Thank goodness. We are 21 hours through. Read it and weep. Read it. Read it and weep. Read it and weep. 3 hours left to go. The last book took us just around 4 hours to read, Prisoner of Azkaban. It's 468 pages, so it's a middle grade book. It's not hard to digest at all. It's very easy to read very quickly, in my opinion. That being said, we have a very awkward 2 hours and 48 minutes left. So I don't really like to read books that I'm in the middle of during these readathons because I feel like it's kind of cheating towards the total book count. But since this is just a very weird amount of time and we're not going to be able to finish an entire book anyway, I'm just going to wrap up the video by wrapping up A Torch Against the Night. I have less than 200 pages of this left to read, and honestly, I think we're gonna have some time left over, but in that case, I'm just gonna start the next Harry Potter book. I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to get through that series. So, 5th book, A Torch Against the Night. I have the audiobook for this, so I might read that, but I also have the ebook for it. I have it in every format. Let's just freaking do it, okay? Look at that. Yo. 24 hours. We did it. 6 books. Oh my gosh. Let's go over every book we read and what I'm reading them and what I thought, all of this stuff. Let me actually pull up my Fable because I don't even remember exactly what I gave this. Let's see. The first book the first book we read was Face Off by Chelsea Curto. I ended up giving this a 3.75 stars. I wasn't too attached to any of the characters. The plot was fun. The premise was fun. It was refreshing to see a female in sports, one of the female main characters playing in the sport that the sports romance revolves around. That was very refreshing. Do you like my Care Bear shirt? The Care Bear. I will continue the series, but yeah. Then we read Her Soul to Take by Harley Larux, and I annotated this fairly heavily. I say fairly, very heavily. Very, very heavily. I love this book so much. Technically, this was a reread, but that was because I read this book a while ago and never continued with the rest of the trilogy. So I wanted to reread it to refresh myself when I go into the second and third book of the trilogy. And boy, I am so glad I finally picked this back up again. I gave this a 5 stars. I mean, it was one of my favorite books the first time I read it, and reading it for a second time just solidified that for me. I found no faults with this book, and I recommend it if you're into dark romance. Then we read an anticipated book for me. What Did You Do by Janine O'Reilly, the second book in the Infatuated Fae series, the first book being How Does It Feel, which I read last week, and I give that a 5 stars. I absolutely blitzed through that first book, and the second book did not disappoint. Also a 5 stars with the second book. Honestly, there's only 2 books left in this series that I have to read, and I think they're both probably going to be 5 stars. This is definitely a 5-star series for me, and I can't wait to buy the physical copies, but please read this. Please read this. Oh my gosh. It's so good. The tension, the intrigue, the mysteries, the not knowing what is real and what is false because you have unreliable narrators. It's unlike anything I've ever read, and it all just comes back around in the end. Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. After that, we picked up Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. Reread. I'm getting through the Harry Potter series. First time rereading the entire series in 9 years, so it was a long time coming. And this book, even though it's just a middle grade, this book in particular always makes me cry. This isn't my first time rereading this specific book. It's just my first time rereading the entire series at once. But this book always makes me cry because we are introduced to one of my favorite characters, Sirius Black, and if you know, you know. I gave this a 5 stars just because of the nostalgia and like, I don't know. Usually when I reread books, I generally give them 5 stars because the fact that I am rereading it means I really enjoyed it, so there you go. Then we finished up, well, I say finished up, this was the last book we actually finished, A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. I think I'm pronouncing that right, I don't know. We only finished the last, oh gosh, okay, yeah, we were on page 280 and it is 454 pages long, so 174 pages we read. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say, I gave this a 3.75 stars. I enjoyed the first one a lot more, and this one in particular took me quite a bit to get through, which is why I was still in the middle of it going into this challenge. I've been reading this for like 3 weeks now. I'm not even joking. I wish I was, but so it was okay. It was definitely interesting, but very, very different from the first book, and it kind of lost me with that. It just didn't feel like it really flowed nicely progression-wise with this series. But unfortunately for me, probably not for you, but unfortunately for me, this did not round out our time. So I had to pick up yet another book. But the last book we picked up to round out our last, I think it was around 50-ish minutes, was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It wasn't 50 minutes. Hold on. I can check. Well, 47 minutes. Okay. It's not. I was around the right area. This is a very long book. I think it's like 600 pages. I did not expect to finish this. Could you imagine if you could read 600 pages in 50 minutes? That would be insane. Yo. But I did read 56 pages. I just finished up on a chapter. The Portkey. I'm excited to jump back into this. But that is all. I read, oh gosh, I think over 2,000 pages. Yeah, I read over 2,000 pages. Hello? Who is she? Actually, it's not that shocking because my reading romantasy for a week video, check it out. I read over 2,000 pages that week. So, yeah. Well, that just about does it for me. This is not an accurate representation. There should be 2 books up here, but what are you gonna do? 2 of them are on Kindle. We greatly strayed from the TBR. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to keep the pace moving forward. Well, that is all from me. And I want you to remember that you are awesome and you do amazing things. You are loved, you are kind, you are so brave, even when you don't think you are doing enough. Believe me, I know you are doing as much as you can and you are doing awesome at it. Even the little things like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating at least once a day, taking some time off for yourself, it's hard. It can seem impossible at times, but you're doing your best. And I applaud you for that. So, I'll see you next time. If I made you smile, leave a little cheeky like down below. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you next time. Bye!